What would have happened if the Roman Empire had not fallen? The Roman Empire was one of the most influential civilizations in history, spanning much of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Its fall in 476 AD marked the end of an era and the beginning of the Middle Ages, a time of fragmentation and conflict in Europe. Had the Roman Empire not fallen, the history of Europe and the world would likely have taken a completely different path. Below, we explore three possible scenarios that show us how this alternative could have played out. In this first scenario, the Roman Empire would have continued to evolve and adapt to changes, maintaining its government structure and extending its influence for centuries. This would have allowed for a period of political and economic stability in Europe, facilitating advances in science, technology, and medicine. The preservation of works of knowledge from the ancient Greek and Roman civilizations would have been a priority, and the scientific renaissance could have occurred much earlier. By being united under a single administration, the empire would have had the resources and infrastructure to expand its knowledge and build universities and research centers across its territory. Furthermore, with a less fragmented society, discoveries and advancements would have been more easily shared between regions. Construction technology, such as aqueducts and road systems, would have expanded even further, improving the quality of life. In this scenario, Europe could have reached technological developments similar to the Industrial Revolution centuries earlier, completely changing the pace of human progress. Please subscribe and turn on notifications if you enjoyed this content and want to learn more about alternative history. Thank you for your support, and let's move on to the next scenario. In this second scenario, the Roman Empire could have experienced an even richer cultural mix, absorbing influences from neighboring civilizations, such as Persian, Indian, and Chinese cultures. Religion would also have been a key factor. With Christianity established as the official religion, the expansion of Christianity would have continued at a rapid and unified pace, albeit without a church divided into different branches. This could have avoided the religious conflicts that occurred during the Middle Ages. However, it is possible that Roman religion and culture merged with practices and beliefs from other parts of the world, creating a version of Christianity influenced by Eastern philosophies and the cultural diversity of the empire. Furthermore, by maintaining its borders and diplomatic contacts with Asia and Africa, the Roman Empire could have facilitated trade and cultural exchange at an early stage, strengthening the Silk Road and allowing for early globalization. This would have fostered a mix of ideas and practices, creating a much more diverse and cohesive civilization. In the third and least likely scenario, the Roman Empire retains its power but faces constant conflict with other emerging powers, such as the Germanic kingdoms and tribes of northern Europe, as well as the Sasanian Empire and later, the rise of Islam in the 7th century. Despite its strength, Rome would have had to redirect much of its resources and energy into defending its borders rather than expanding culturally and technologically. Constant warfare would have limited economic and scientific progress, keeping Rome more of a military power than a center of innovation and cultural growth. Eventually, this state of exhaustion could have led the empire to become a more decentralized and fragmented entity, but still outwardly united. In this scenario, Rome remains a nominal power, but resembles a confederation of autonomous regions, which could have slowed Europe's progress and created a system of local loyalties rather than a centralized state. Had the Roman Empire not fallen, we might live today in a more technologically advanced world with a unified culture, without the national and religious divisions that arose in the Middle Ages. Europe might have experienced early globalization, with a cultural and scientific mix enriched by the stability of a large empire. European cities would likely have been even older and more developed, with advanced infrastructure and a network of roads and trade that spanned continents. The idea of a nation-state might not exist, and today's society could be more open to cultural diversity, the result of centuries of coexistence within the same political system. What do you think? Can you imagine living in a world where the Roman Empire never fell? Leave us your opinion in the comments and share which of these scenarios seems most likely or interesting to you. In our next video, we'll explore another fascinating question. What if the Nazis had won World War II? Don't miss it!